Hello and welcome to another episode of I'm Still Playing. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you look over there, that's where all the boxes are. This whole space is, my office has mostly been taken down already. And tomorrow I'm going to take down this video equipment and all of my existing computers that I'm playing and working on right now. And first part of next week, a moving truck is going to come and pick all this stuff up, along with everything in this house that I've lived in for the last 25 years. And it's going to haul me and my wife up to beautiful Denver, Colorado, where we're going to begin a new chapter in our life. And we're pretty darn excited about that. So as such, this will probably be the last video that I'll be able to put out, I don't know, in the next 10 days or so, because it's like a delivery window of like a week for me to actually get into the new place. And I've got to get internet set up and got to get all the computers reset up. So needless to say, I'm going to be MIA for about 10 days. I do have a couple of videos coming up for the Division 2, the Let's Play videos, and they'll get their normal, 5 to 10 viewers. I don't know. I guess YouTube doesn't like my Let's Play Div 2 videos, but I enjoy doing them, so I'm going to continue to put them up at least for a little while. But this video, is back in the gacha space, and I feel like the gacha space is in a really interesting time right now. It's just absolutely exploding in popularity, and it's making players have to make some really hard choices about what games they're going to play because there are so many great looking games coming up on the horizon. That's what I'm going to talk about tonight, is what is it going to take for you to either reduce the investment or to consider, leaving your existing game altogether and starting up a new good game. So as I just mentioned, I feel like gacha is absolutely exploding in popularity right now. In fact, it actually reminds me quite a bit of the MMO scene back around 2005, 2006. At that time, World of Warcraft was the absolute predominant leader in the MMO space, but every other developer in the world was tripping over themselves to try to come up with the next WoW killer, right? Most of them failed, but a lot of them were successful, like Final Fantasy XIV and Guild Wars 2 and Star Wars The Old Republic. Even Lord of the Rings Online, right, is still, if not thriving, at least turning enough profit to still be in business and attracting people today. But all of those early MMO developers faced the same dilemma that gacha developers are facing today, which is how to draw you, the player, away from that game that you've already invested significant time and effort and money into and to come play their game. And that's a real problem, right? Because right now there are more beautiful, incredible competitors falling over each other to try to get your buck and to try to get you to come play. And that's what they've got to deal with, right? And the thing is it's not like the existing competitors are just standing around, Hoyoverse is using its money, Kiro is using its money to build these games and to reinvent and reinvigorate these games every single month. And anyone who's watched either the ZZZ 2.0 special or the Wuthering Waves 2.4 anniversary special, you know that these companies have brought FOMO to a fine art, right? Let's look briefly at some of the games that should be coming out this year that'll be vying for your time and attention. Now, some of these I've already covered in previous videos, and I'll only touch on them briefly, but I think all of these are definitely worth mentioning. Neverness to Everness is a sprawling, urban-based gacha game that promises a Grand Theft Auto-inspired driving mechanic, player customizable housing, and this cool pseudo-horror vibe that feels to me like it's heavily inspired by The Secret World. This is one of the games that I covered in fairly good detail in a previous video that I'll link at the end of this one, but the more I hear about this one, the more interested I get in it. I think it looks really promising. Blue Protocol Star Resonance is an actual MMO that uses gacha mechanics for its monetization. It's also set in this beautiful anime world, and because I'm still an MMO freak at heart, I'm definitely intrigued by this. I also did an earlier video on this one, and I again urge you to take a look. In fact, this is probably the game that I might quite likely lose myself in because I've been known to lose myself in MMOs before. And I love the idea of playing a gacha game with people around. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those kind of people who don't necessarily want to do things with other people, but that doesn't mean I want to do the things I'm doing alone, if that makes any sense. Now, Azure Premilia has gotten a lot of hype. This game bills itself as an animal companionship fantasy world RPG and promises a sort of a combination of cozy gaming and monster collection mechanics. This will give you a gacha with sort of a Power World style of gameplay. I don't know if this is necessarily the style of gaming that would get me hooked, but I do love monster collection mechanics, so there's definite possibility here. Arknight's Infield, I mentioned previously in a gacha games coming up video. This game promises an entirely new style of gameplay, for gacha at least. It offers an almost factorial style base building mechanic. Additionally, they're going to break free from the Genshin mold a little bit by allowing your entire party in the world with you as you're exploring, rather than just the traditional, having a single player that you swap in and out of. So that's just a few of the bigger ones that we know about coming out this year. And you know there will be lots of others that aren't getting quite as much hype or attention that will still look fantastic. I didn't even mention Silver Palace, and that looks absolutely gorgeous. And we don't know if that's going to come out this year or not. Probably not, since it was just announced. Now, I don't know if any of these have the thing that's going to draw me away from my current games. Right now, I'm playing two gacha games. I'm playing zzzero, which I absolutely love. Started playing that back in January. And I'm currently still playing Wuthering Waves, which again, it's a beautiful open world game, definitely receiving all the hype right now, and is just a ton of fun to play. And they are adding to that game and pushing that game and creating, releasing new characters that are amazing, right? The new 2.4 anniversary update just promises so much cool stuff coming out for that game. So are any of these going to be enough to draw us away from what we're currently playing right now? Now, I don't know about you, but I have a full-time job that I have to do, and I have a wife and family who like to see me occasionally. I typically only have room for one, maybe two gachas at a time. And let's be honest, if I want to play anything else like Clair Obscura or The Witcher 4 when it comes out, and I definitely do, well, then I really only have about time for one. So what's it going to be then? Is it going to be the game that I've already invested time, money, and effort into, that I've already learned the metaphor, that I already have a pretty sizable inventory of great characters that I've developed emotional attachments to? Or is it going to be starting all over in a brand new game, regardless of whatever kind of cool mechanics it offers? I don't know. It's a hard call to make. Well, during the parts of my trek across the country, while my wife is driving and I'm looking over the iPad trying to see what's going on, I would invite you guys to leave me some comments to read about if any of these games are going to pull you away from your current gacha, or are you going to stand fast with what you're playing and maybe dip your toes into those things, but you really don't think they're going to pull you away and invite you to and give up what you're playing. Or are you the kind of person that has unlimited time on your hands and you're like, "Sure, I'm going to play all these things. What are you talking about, fool?" Let me know. I'm interested to read your comments and see what kind of, and to see what you guys think about the new crop of games coming out and if they're going to pull you away. Meantime, whatever you're playing, as always, play hard. And until I see you next time, cheers.